Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Good morning, everybody. Our lesson today is to solve exam brackets number 10, page 360. Page 360. Okay, please open your book with me. Page 360. Okay. Simplify. I'll talk about a rational number. We have square root 45 minus square root 5. As I said to you when I explained this lesson, that we cannot add or subtract any irrational number, but we have to find the same square root. Yani we can add square root of 2 plus square root of 2, but we cannot add square root of 2 plus square root of 5. Okay, and I said to you, consider this square root as x. If we have just one square root of 2 and 3 square root of 2, so the total will be 4 square root of 2, like this. Let's see. Here I have square root 45 minus square root of 5. Okay, let's take this 45 and factorize it into 9 times 5. As you know, we can separate the numbers under square root into two square roots multiply with each other. So I can split square root 45 into square root of 9 times the square root of 5. As you know, the answer square root of 9 is 3. And the square root of 5, I'll keep it as a rational number. So I'll change 45 under square root into 3 square root of 5, like this, and substitute its value down. Minus 1 square root of 5. So here square root of 5 repeated 2 times, I'll put it just 1 time. Okay, and the 3 minus 1 equal 2. So the answer is 2 square root of 5. But you cannot subtract them in this form. You have to make like irrational numbers, like square root, to have a chance to subtract or add them. Okay, so again, as you see, 45 I change it into 9 times 5. Square root of 9 equal 3, and the square root of 5 is still square root of 5. I'll substitute this value here. So we have 3 square root of 5 minus 1 square root of 5 equal 2 square root of 5. Okay, this is question 1 from the exam brackets, page 360, letter A. Let's see letter B. He said simplify. Simplify square root of 49 over square root of 64. The square root of 49 is positive and negative 7. Square root of 64 is positive and negative 8. Because to take the number outside the square root sign, you have to make think about factor of this number multiply by itself, repeated multiplication. So here I have 8 multiply 8 or negative 8 multiply negative 8. I'll take one of them and cancel the square root. 49 may be 7 times 7 or negative 7 times negative 7, like this. Let's see letter question number 2, letter A. Question number 2 also simplify. Letter A, we have a square root of 12 plus 2 square root of 27. I cannot add them like this. I have to change them into the same square root. So I'll take a square root of 2 of 12, change it into 4 times 3. Square root of 4 equal 2, and the square root of 3, keep it as a rational number as it is. And we have here a square root of 27. So I'll take this 27 and change it into 9 times 3. Square root of 9 equal 3, and the square root of 3, keep it as it is. By this way, I change square root of 12 into 2 square root 3, square root of 27 into 3 square root of 3. Substitute these values here. Okay, as you see here, like this. Instead of square root of 12, I will put 2 square root of 3. Instead of square root of 27, I will put 3 square root of 3. But here I have 2 multiply by this square root. So I'll take this 2 multiply 3 square root of 3. Now I have 2 square root of 3 plus 6 square root of 3. Square root of 3 repeated 2 times. I'll write it just 1 time here. And then 2 plus 6 equal 8. This is question 2, letter A. Also in question 2, he said simplify. 3 square root 50 minus 2 square root 32. I'll do the same. I'll change this 50 and this 32. Try to find the same square root for both. Square root of 50 equal 25 multiply 2. Try to find one factor of them can get its square root, like 25. Because you know that 50 can make it 5 times 10. But it has no value to find it as 5 times 10. I'll make it 25 because the square root of 25 is 5. And square root of 2 still is square root of 2. Square root of 32, I'll change it into 16 times 2 because I can find the square root of 16, which is 4. So now I change this into 5 square root 2 and that one into 4 square root of 2. Add them, it's subtraction, subtract them. Don't forget that you have 3 outside, so you will multiply the 3 by the 5 square root of 2, like this. And you have here 2, multiply it by 4 square root of 2. So you have here 15 square root of 2 minus 8 square root of 2 equals 7 square root of 2. Because I take square root of 2 just 1 time, and 15 minus 8 equals 7. I think it's very easy. I am still in page 360. Question number 3. Question number 3, he said also simplify. But here I have brackets raised to the second power. Brackets raised to the second power, that's to say this brackets multiply by itself, like this. I have 2 minus 2 square root of 3. I'll repeat this brackets 2 times. And then, look carefully, I'll take 2 multiply 2 here. Then 2 multiply negative 2 square root of 3, like this. I finish 2, I'll take negative 2 square root of 3 multiply 2, so it will be negative 2 multiply 2 square root of 3, like this. And then take negative 2 square root of 3 times negative 2 square root of 3. Negative times negative equal positive. And 2 multiply by 2 square root of 3 multiply square root of 3, like this. Let's expand them. 2 times 2 equal 4. Minus 2 times 2 square root of 3 equal negative 4 square root of 3. And also here negative square root of 3. Here L2 square is 4 and the square root of 3 times the square root of 3 equal 3. So we have 4 times 3. Because if I have a square root multiply by itself, I'll take the number only without square root. So square root of 3 times the square root of 3 equal just 3. And 2 square means 2 times 2 equal 4. Now I have 4. I collect the like terms. Negative 4 square root of 3. So negative 8 square root of 3. Plus 4 times 3 equal 12. Now I'll collect the numbers together. I have 4 positive and 12 positive equals 16 positive minus 8 square root of 3. Okay, take care. Important. In question 3, letter B, also simplify. Brackets contain 1 plus square root of 3 times 1 minus square root of 3. Look carefully to this case. how I can solve it directly. We have two brackets exactly the same, but the difference is the sign. One bracket contain plus and one bracket contain minus. So what I have to do here? Yes, excellent. It will be 1 square minus square root of 3 square. I'll take the first square minus the second square, like this. I'll take the first, which first, here or there? It will be the same, 1. So I'll take the first square, so 1 square minus, it will be difference, square difference, minus square root of 3 raised to the second power. 1 square equal 1. Square root of 3 times the square root of 3 equal just 3. Between them minus, so 1 minus 3 equal negative 2. This is the answer. In question number 4, I am still in page 360. In question number 4, rationalize the denominator and simplify. Rationalize the denominator, that's to say change the irrational number found in the denominator into rational number, because it is not suitable to write the answer with irrational number in the denominator. How I can solve it? If I have just one square root like this, I'll multiply by it, up and down, make fraction contain square root of 5, up and down, that's to say I multiply by 1, identity. In multiplication, 2 multiply by 1, I didn't change the value. Let's see here, this is the problem. What's C down? The irrational number square root of 5. So I'll multiply by it up and down. Depending upon what? Depending upon square root of 5. Multiply square root of 5, I'll cancel the sign of a square root. And the answer will be just 5. So by this way, I change the irrational into rational. And I didn't change the value because I multiply by the same thing up and down. That's to say I multiply by 1. I didn't change the value. And up, square root of 5, multiply, open brackets please. 1 plus square root of 5, like this. Down is 5, rational number, and up, square root of 5, multiply 1, equal square root of 5. Square root of 5 times square root of 5 equal 5. And keep it like this. Or, you can take square root of 5 over 5, plus 5 over 5. Square root of 5 over 5, keep it as it is. 5 over 5 equal 1. So you can keep the answer like this, or separate the two fractions and make it square root of 5 over 5 plus 1. Because the first term divided by 5 plus the second term divided by 5. The first term divided by 5 give me square root of 5 over 5. The second term, 5 divided by 5 equal 1. You can keep the answer like this or like this. Okay. But in such case, question 4, letter B, I have expression 2 minus square root of 11. To rationalize the denominator, I'll multiply by, remember with me? Yes, excellent. I'll multiply by 2 plus square root of 11. Up and down also. That's to say I multiply by 1. So here, if I have expression in negative, I'll make it positive, up and down. Now, 2 minus square root of 11, 2 plus square root of 11. Like this case, 2 brackets, 1 positive and 1 negative. Exactly the same. So I'll take the first square minus the second square. So it will be 2 square minus square root of 11 square. 2 square is 4. Square root of 11 times the square root of 11 equal just 11. And what I have up? Up I have negative 7 multiply open brackets 2 plus square root of 11. Distribute negative 7 by all thing inside the brackets. Negative 7 times 2 equal negative 14. Negative 7 times square root of 11 equal negative 7 square root of 11. I can take a common factor up, which is 7 or negative 7. Negative 7 and negative 14 divided by negative 7 equal positive 2. Negative 7 square root of 11 divided by negative 7, cancel negative 7 with negative 7, give 1. What's left? Square root of 11 here. And what's down? I said 2 square minus square root of 11 square. So it will be 4 minus 11 equal negative 7. Now I can cancel negative 7 up with negative 7 down, give me 1. And what's left? 2 plus square root of 11. Important. To rationalize the denominator contain expression is important. We will multiply by what I see in the denominator, but it change the sign. Depending upon what? Depending upon I have two brackets here exactly the same, one positive and one negative. So I'll take the square root of the first minus the square root of the second, like this. Okay. Now, question number 5. Work out writing each answer in the form of a square root of 2 over b. Let's see here. I have addition 5 over square root of 2 plus 8 over square root of 32. I have to make like denominator, like fraction, to allow me to add them with each other. I'll take square root of 32 and factorize it here. Change 32 into 16 times 2. Square root of 16 is 4. Square root of 2 is still 2. Now I have 5 over square root of 2 and 8 over 4 square root of 2. From where I get it? From this factorization. Okay. Instead of square root of 32, I'll make it 4 square root of 2. And start to simplify this fraction. Divided by 4 equal 1, divided by 4 equal 2. Now what is the equivalent fraction? 5 over square root of 2 is still the same. And here I have 2 over square root of 2. Now I have the same denominator, so I'll write it just one time and add the denominators. So 5 plus 2 equals 7 and the denominator is square root of 2. Don't stop, don't stop. It is not logic to give me the answer with irrational number down. You have to rationalize this fraction by multiplying square root of 2 up and down. That's to say multiply by 1. I'll not change the value. Now square root of 2 down times the square root of 2 give me 2. And up 7 multiply square root of 2, like this. Now I get the answer in the simplest form, and as he said, in the form of a, which is number 7 square root of 2 square root of 2 over b, which is number 2. Important. Now I want to find also the answer in the form of a square root of 2 over b. I have 7 over square root of 72, sorry, minus 3 over square root of 8. I'll factorize the 72 and factorize the 8. 72, I'll make it 9 times 4 times 2. That's to say 9 times 8. But I want to get the 9 out of the square root. It will be 3. And the 4 give me 2. And square root of 2 is still the same. Okay? So 3 times 2 equals 6 square root of 2. Or we can change this 72 into 36 multiply 2. 36 under square root give me 6 and the square root of 2 give me 2. I change 72 into 6 square root of 2. Nice. And this 8 will be 4 times 2. Square root of 4 is 2 and square root of 2 is still the same. And substitute here, remove the square root of 8, putting 2 square root of 2. Okay. Now, I can't simplify anything up and down with each other. But I have a square root of 2 and the square root of 2. This is 6 and this is 2. We can change this 2 into 6. Yes. Multiply by 3 up and down. So to make like denominator 6 square root of 2, I will multiply this fraction by 3 up and down to get an equivalent fraction. Here I have 7. Here 7 minus 9. Because I multiply here 3 times 3 give me 9. So 7 minus 9 equal negative 2. And the denominator became 6 square root of 2. You understand from where this negative 2? Here I multiply 3 times 3, but I have negative sign. So it will be negative 9 and the positive 7 equal negative 2. Now the denominator became 6 square root of 2, both the same. I cannot keep the answer like this. I have to rationalize the denominator. Rationalize the denominator, multiply by a square root of 2 up and down. Okay, so down 6 square root of 2 times square root of 2 equals 6 times 2. And up negative 2 multiply square root of 2 equal negative 2 square root of 2. You can simplify 2 and 12 down. Divided by 2 up equal 1 or negative 1, sorry. Divided by 2 equals 6. So I have negative square root of 2 over 6. Okay. By this way, I finished question number 1, 2, 3, 4 in page 360. Please, I want from you to solve them yourself again. Page 360. Do them yourself and then check from the video or from the copy I will send it to you. Thank you. Best wishes.